Testing, testing. Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Emily Thomas and I'm kind of like a lifestyle YouTuber, still trying to figure out my niche, and I just make videos that I feel like are necessary, that I want to make videos about, because I haven't necessarily found like my exact niche yet. But I figured today we would make it a new topic on my channel called Talk Tuesday, where we can just talk about things. We can talk down in the comments below too about things that are happening in the world, or just talking about our feelings, because like talking about your feelings are so important, especially if you don't have a filter for your feelings. If you're a very emotional person and you don't have a healthy way to get out your emotions, then it could turn into something bad. So that's why it's important to get your emotions out, talk about it with a friend, talk about it with family, with a counselor, with me, just get your emotions out there, because if you don't have a good way to filter through and, just have your emotions talked about, then it can be bad. So without further ado, I do want to have a topic for today's video, which is self-confidence and doubting yourself, feeling like you're not worthy, not good enough. Maybe the people around you make you feel like you're not good enough, that and in your heart that you're a good person and that you are trying hard, then this video is for you, because we are going to talk about it. And I think people have really gone through a lot this year in 2020. Just with COVID-19 was the big thing this year. And I went through my own personal things this year that I have talked about before, like my grandpa dying, my friend dying, those are serious topics. And just all the other little things that have happened this year that just kind of piled on top of each other and made this year not so pretty, not such a fun year, So I do want to just talk about it, and just to believe in yourself, and that these setbacks are not going to keep you back. Like, these obstacles will not set you back in the long term. So that is what I want to talk about. So I do have my coffee that I'm going to be sipping on throughout the video. It is an iced coffee. No, I'm just kidding. I actually just made this coffee this morning and I put it in my fridge, and now it's ice cold and I can drink it nicely without it burning my throat. But yeah. It's my favorite cute little mug. But yeah, so without further ado, let's get on into the video. And also just some things about me. I am a very emotional person, and I don't actually always filter out my emotions right. Just because I'm very emotional, and I don't want people to see that I'm emotional. I want people to think I'm a strong person, that has it all together. And I can tend to be kind of a perfectionist and a procrastinator. I can tend to be both of those things. But all in all, yeah, y'all, like, that's just a little background about me. Like, I know I'm a very emotional, but I'm also very hard worker, and I want to appear to people that I'm a strong person. So, even though somebody on the outside may look like they're strong and they're put together, they probably have a lot of things that they're going through that they don't talk about, or they don't want you to know about, and they just kind of hide it because they want to seem like a strong person. Okay, so first I want to talk about self-doubt. So I know in the inside of my core that I'm a very confident person, and sometimes I don't show it as well as I should, but I know that I'm very talented. I know that I'm a very intelligent person, and that I try to be a kind person. And I'm not trying to brag, like, I know I'm not talented at everything and I'm not good at everything. And that's another thing about this topic is when you're growing up and you're trying to like find your purpose and try to find your path in life, you know, things can get tricky. And, you know, like some people are good at some things and some people aren't good at some things. And I think it's all a learning curve, and you gotta kind of just learn what you are good at and learn what you're not good at, and then take it from there, because you don't know what tomorrow will bring. Like there could be something could totally happen that totally changes your life and changes the direction of your life. And that's why, you know, you can never be completely prepared, because you never know what life will bring. And also, like me, I try to be in control. I tend to be an organized person, except don't look in my room right now because it's not organized, but I try to be an organized person in my life, and I try to like be in charge sort of in a way. I try to take control. And that's something that you can't always do. You can't always take control, because sometimes things are out of your control. And at the end of the day, you could have tried everything that you could have tried, you know, and some things you can't control. Like some things are out of your hands, and you have to learn to accept the things that are out of your hands and learn from it and move on. And that is all about self-growth and self-development. And I think that's what we're here on this earth, put on this earth to do, is to grow into ourselves and to develop into a stronger, better person all around in all areas of our lives. I know that's a mouthful, sometimes I ramble on, and things right now may seem like, why me? Like, why would I get put in this situation? Or why do bad things always happen to me? But you gotta look at it from I don't know if y'all are religious. I'm a religious person. But you gotta think, you gotta know that these things are happening in your life because there is meant to be a different path for you. So if something happens that didn't go your way, it's because God, or because whatever you want to believe in, the energy, the universe, didn't want you to have it this way, because they're going to give you something better. So there's always a reason things happen, and things may seem unfair. And like my situation I'm going through right now, you know, it's like everybody else was doing it, but I'm the one that got caught, so I'm the one that's getting in trouble for it. You know, you can't always be like, why me? Like, why am I the victim when everybody else was doing it too? And I just look at it as, I know that I'm always the one that gets caught. Like, I know that about myself. But I'm looking at it as like, maybe this is like a blessing in disguise. Like maybe this is helping set me up into a better direction for my life. And yes, the thing I did was, you know, not the right thing to do. But I think it's teaching me that a lot about myself. It's showing me how strong I can be in tough situations and in situations that are not fair. It's showing me that I'm a bad... No, I'm just kidding. That I'm a baddie. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, y'all. So anyways. And going into the topic of self-doubt. Sometimes I don't believe in myself and my capabilities. Even though deep down I know how much I can give the world, I doubt myself. Like with this YouTube channel, like I don't post every day. I don't even post every week sometimes. And so, because I want to put out good content And I want to put out things that are good and relevant and things that are important to me. And so I doubt, like, should I even pick up the camera? Like, what if this turns out bad and nobody likes it? Nobody likes me? That is a big thing about self-doubt, and something that I'm trying to, like, get around and starting to believe in myself more. And on the topic of losing control, not being able to control everything, I think a lot of what 2020 has taught us is that you can plan as much as you want. You can plan for the future, but something's gonna happen and it'll ruin your plans, and not everything will turn out the exact way or the way you thought it would be. So that's one thing I think 2020 has taught me, especially. And like, you know, you feel like things just keep happening to you. It just keeps getting, something bad just keeps happening every day, or every other day something bad happens. And you're like, what the heck? When will it stop raining on me? And that is a thing that you really have to realize, that this moment and these times won't last forever. And you are going to have a future, and you are going to have the rest of your life. And just knowing that if you work hard every day, and you know when you lay your head down at night, you lay your head down on the pillow, that you did everything you could that day to make things better, make it the best day ever. That's all you can do. And losing direction, another thing, it's like, maybe you thought you were going to be, you know, maybe you were going to school, going to college, and you thought that this is exactly what you were going to be, was a lawyer or a doctor. And you're like, yes, this is my career, this is my passion. And then you graduate, and then you figure out, this isn't for me, this isn't what I want. You know, when you actually go to do the job, you're like, this is not what I thought it would be. Or maybe you start a business, and the business takes a turn, but it's a turn that you like, and it's for the better. Maybe you thought your business was going to be strictly just fitness stuff, but then takes a turn, and maybe you get into makeup and you get into fashion, and that helps your business elevate and evolve. And so it's important to realize that in this moment right now, what you know right now, it will change tomorrow, and you'll gain new knowledge that will help build your success and your future and your career and your family and your relationships. All of that, like, it'll help you. So even if you think you're losing direction and you're asking, like, why is this happening to me? Just know that it's probably for the better, and you know that God or the universe or energies, are whatever you believe in, is setting you up onto the path that you are meant to be on. And you should be thanking God or the universe, whoever you think, that this is becoming a new beginning for you, basically. And piggybacking off of that topic is failing to plan. You can't fail to plan. Like, you do have to plan things still. Even though things will not always go your way, you still need to plan it, because you can't just be like, oh, I'm going to move to Texas, and you don't have a plan. Like, why are you going to move to Texas? How are you going to move to Texas? Who are you going to go to Texas with? Like, you got to plan. And also, it's like, I'm very strict on myself, because I don't want to be that person that has to go back and move back in with their parents, you know. I'm very strict on myself. I'm like, what is plan B? What is plan C, D, E, F, G? Like, I want backup plans, because I am a very independent, strong person, and I decided when I was 18 that I was going to move out and start my life. And I don't want to go backwards, you know. Sometimes it's not going backwards. For some people, you're like, this is my safety net. Like, moving back in with my parents is my safety net. For me, I don't want a safety net. Like, I want to have the next plan already in place. So that's why it is so important to plan. Even if when you lose direction, you'll have your plan already there, set up. So even when things don't go your way, there's a plan for you. You know, and things do go your way. Hey, you were smart and you planned for something. That would be your backup. And right now God is teaching me that anything can ruin my plans. That is what 2020 has taught me, is things can come in and ruin your plans. And you thought that you were going to be like the best at this, but maybe God doesn't want you to be the best at this. Maybe he wants you to be the best at something else, and he's getting you prepared for that next step in your life. Also, if I seem like I'm squinting a lot in this video, I apologize. It is like the fan is blowing in here, and I am on my female cycle, so I am kind of just like irritable. But yeah, if I'm squinting a lot, I do apologize. I don't want to be squinting like that much, so sorry about that. And this is the first time that I thought everything was going great again. You know when that happens, you're like, oh my gosh, my life is perfect right now, everything is going as planned. And then you do something wrong, or something just happens and it blows up in your face, and you're like, oh my god, like why did this happen to me, or why is this happening? And that's just another thing about it, is like, you could plan all you want, but then something miraculous will just happen and it'll just completely change everything. And you're like, wow, I had this plan forever. And you're like, what's the next step? That is a big thing. Like, you're like, what is the next step that I'm gonna have to take? And I really thought that I had everything together this time. I thought I had it all together. I thought I was in control of my life again. And then you realize that in moments like this, when it does go wrong, that you don't have everything in control. That God, or, you know, like I said, some people don't believe, but like I said, God will have a different plan for your life. I think 2020 has been like this for a lot of people. I think a lot of people have gone through immensely difficult things, like losing loved ones, or losing a job, losing their passion, you know? And 2020 has taught us that even though you thought everything was together, no, it's not actually all together, and that's just part of life. And also, I feel like this time is really teaching me that I am the only person that truly got myself, and that I need to start putting things that I actually care about in like the front of my dreams and goals and everything. And so that is really important to realize, and realize who you are, realize the type of person you are, and realize what areas work for you and what areas don't work for you, and what areas need to improve to get better at this area, and all of that jazz. But basically, yes. And at the end of the day, all you can do is know that you put in 100%, the best of your ability that you could do. And if it doesn't turn out the way you thought it would, or it doesn't turn out the way, like in a good, positive way, then that's all you could have done. And you got to realize that this is not the path for you, and you got to just kind of shift your focus, and not necessarily completely change your life, like your goals, but change how you're going to get to your goals. So maybe you lost your job, and your job was going to pay for your college. And so now you're trying to think of, how am I going to pay for college? I don't want to take out student loans. I don't want to go into debt. How am I going to pay for college? And so you're thinking, well, there's so many ways. You could get a good job. You could start side hustles. It's that lady cycle, y'all. But you could start side hustles. You could apply for scholarships. There's so many ways that you can still achieve your goal. And maybe this is helping you become into a different person. And you also have different people in life. You have the people that take risks and the people that don't. You know, the people that take risks, they'll be like, okay, so I realize that this isn't for me, or this happened badly, ended badly on bad terms, but I know how I'm going to get to this goal, and I actually kind of like how I'm doing it now. so you got to realize what you actually like. I thought I was going to take 100 steps that way. I was so far into that way, but then you realize, or something happens and it shifts you to a different path, and you could start going on that path. You got to be like, well, I'm willing to turn this way and start on a new path. But not everybody will be this way, and that's where you got to realize who you are in your core, realize the type of person you are, and realize that not everybody has the same goals as you. Like, some people, their goals are to become the next president of the United States, or their goals is to raise a wonderful family and to have lots of kids, and that is their goal, and that's beautiful. Either way is like, that's amazing, and realize that everybody doesn't have the same goals as you, and realize not everybody is the same person as you. And you don't want to be doing something that makes you depressed. Like, every day you come home and you're just absolutely depressed. And this is not what you want to do. That is not for you, girl. Move on. Move on to something bigger and better, because if you're constantly depressed, it's not worth it. So I really just want to see what everybody has to say. So leave a comment down in the comments below. I know this video is kind of like rambly and my voice is kind of mumbly a little bit. I do apologize about that. But yeah, I've just been thinking a lot about this topic, and it's really important to realize where you're at and to make plans for the future and to have backup plans in case things don't work out the way you thought it would. So leave your comments down below. Let me know what y'all think. If y'all like these talks, then I'll keep doing them, and you can leave a comment about what kind of topics you want me to keep talking about or not talk about. So thank you all for watching. I hope this video helps somebody in some way, because I know when I first was going through my struggle, and all the struggles that I've gone through, when you're first going through them, you're like, what the heck, why is this happening? But then you kind of talk yourself through it, and you realize, hey, this isn't the end of the world, this isn't the end of my life. Like, I am going to make things better. And that's all you can do. You gotta just make it better, and change the things that you can change, and accept the things that you cannot change. So thank you all for watching. I hope you all have a fantastic day. And until next time, bye.